So we're back. It's another episode of Political Artistry, and the setup has changed a bit. We now go to the comfort zone of our interviewees, just to bring you the best, so that you get to know your politicians better, and get to understand the perspective from which they're coming, and they get to also hear you with your comments right here on YouTube, and of course the comments you drop on our social media handles. My name is Olua Kayode. We say welcome to another episode of Political Artistry right here on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Today, we have a special guest, and we are at the state's head office or headquarters of the All Progressive Congress, and we are having an interview with the Deputy State Chairman of the All Progressive Congress. He's taking us through a journey of his life. We want to understand who he is, how he's lived life, his achievements, his failures. Like we always say, we'll get into some trivia. Probably get to know the name of his first girlfriend, just so that you know he's a human being like us.
Sure.
We have him in the studio. We're in his office right now. The pleasure to be here. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good day, Mr. Moshood.
Good afternoon. You are mostly welcome.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
happy to receive you.
Great. And he is Honorable Mayegun Moshood. Moshood Mayegun. That's it. Honorable Moshood Mayegun. You're the Deputy State Chairman of the APC. That is a very, very important seat you occupy.
Yeah.
Wow. Does that reflect how long you've been in politics?
Yes, I would say yes, because I've been in politics for a very long time. Sincerely, let's say, when I was a student, actually I was a member of Youth Wing of Unity Party of Nigeria.
Wow.
That is during the Second Republic.
Okay.
Though actually then we are just going about following our brothers up and down, just being that we benefited a lot from Awolowo's policy of education, free education.
Okay.
So, and being a Yoruba person, especially from Lagos Island. So definitely, virtually everyone on the island supported the cause of Obafemi Awolowo. So when we were students, we joined the trend. So since then, I would say I've been in politics.
Wow. And let's deviate a bit, because now you speak about the sages of Obafemi Awolowo.
Yeah.
And back then, it felt it was easier for citizens to identify with and respect and follow politicians. As it feels like that is the way it is. Why is that? Why is it more difficult for Nigerians now to follow politicians than it was back then?
Sincerely, if you really follow the trend, things are changing. No doubt about that. During the time of Awolowo, Jakonde, and others, people believe in the leadership. And they believe that whatever the leaders tell you, they believe that they are protecting your interests. But the narrative is changing today, no doubt about that. Nevertheless, we still have good people out there. We still have leaders that you can trust. We still have people that if they say yes, it is yes. And there are some that may sound deceptive somehow, but sincerely, if you really look at it, politics is being a very interesting game for those who believe or have the commitment to change things in our society and to contribute positively and meaningfully. So sincerely, but even some people, especially my friends, even some people that I have not met before, meeting them for few minutes.
Yes.
Some of them will just come with the conclusion that, how come, do you want to tell me that you are a politician? I said, you are. So, because some people will just, mere looking at you, they just, this man is too quiet to be a politician and things like that. But I know I am, because I know the reason why I'm there. to protect the interests of my people. I've been telling people that if it is possible to have the opportunity to serve my people, I would rather serve in a place where I will be able to carry my people along to serve their interests, to really develop them. Because there is this belief that if you teach me how to fish, it is better than giving me fish. So it is my belief that if I have the opportunity to be in the government, so all I need is just to serve the people. So I can take you back the memory lane.
Please do.
So actually, during my full commitment into policy, actually started during the SDP days.
Okay. Right.
This Babangida era. Actually, my senior brother is a lawyer by profession. Unfortunately, he had the opportunity of representing my constituency at the House of Reps.
All right.
In between 1999 to 2003.
Okay.
He was the one representing Lagos Island local government constituency 1. He's a lawyer by profession, and coincidentally, then we only had 24 or 40 members of AD in the House of Reps during that time. Okay. And he was the only person that shared a committee, that is Committee on Public Petitions. So actually during the SDP days, he was the secretary of the ward, of our ward, that is Izalegongo ward.
All
right. And then he was serving in Lagos State Judiciary also as a civil servant. But sometimes we may not have the time to do the minutes. We just Moshood just help me to put up the minutes because I will be I'm busy with my legal distance. Then it was as if I was learning. So when he decided to pursue his education abroad, to further his LLM also, so in the leadership of the ward just decided that since you've been with us, it is better for you to even take up the secretaryship of that ward. Okay. That was how I got fully,
like you were chosen.
Yes. So to God be the glory. I served the ward as the secretary.
What year was that?
That was in 1990. Was it 96? 90 or
that was after Abiola?
After Abiola, okay. The SDP 92, 91, 92.
The build up
that,
the
yes, 91, that was 91, 92, because I can recall that Prince Adeniji Adele, one of our leaders then on the island, became the chairman of the council in 1991.
Okay.
Between 91 and 1993, before the June 12 saga. So I served as the ward secretary there. So after some time, we joined the Yadua group, that was Sarumi, Primrose. So then our leaders, they called on the incumbent president now, the Jagaban. He was in Mobile then. He was doing very well as the treasurer of Mobile. But when we needed somebody who could finance our struggle, the Sarumi, the saga of Agbala Jobi and the Ashe people, But God so good, we fought the battle and we were able to ensure that our person, Sarumi, was to win the governorship primaries then before Babangida truncated the process. So at the end of the day, we thank God. So we decided to go back to Ashe when the Abacha took over the government. So we were there just trying to do one thing or the other. But when 1999 politics started fully, so I was opportune to serve as the chairman of the ward where I served as the secretary. There. I served as the chairman of the ward. And thereafter, I also moved to the HGA that is local government chapter, as the secretary, firstly as the treasurer, later as the secretary, and later I became the chairman of the local government area of Lagos Island local government.
The party chairman or the local government
chairman? Party chairman. At the party level, as the party chairman. After then, when there was transition, after the 1999 to 2002, there was transition in the local government program. So I was opportune to serve as the deputy executive secretary of Lagos Mainland local government. So I was there for about 2 years before election, before another election
was held.
Yes. So later I've been there with them. We've been coping, and as a matter of fact, I actually read education.
Okay.
At Ogun State University, guidance and counseling to be precise.
All right.
And so actually what propelled me to go to education line, because immediately I finished my A-levels at Federal School of Art and Science between 83-85.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to work with Nigerian Student Loans Board for about 5 years.
Okay. So
later I served as the liaison, assistant liaison officer in Lagos before I was moved to Abuja. So in charge of loan recovery and things like that. So I was in education line then. So it was later that I decided that should I be working with just my school start or A-levels. But when they recruited the fresh graduates, I discovered that these are people that even left university, secondary school after
you,
and they now became level 8, level 9, while I was on level 6, planning to move to level 7. So I just decided to go to university. So I studied guidance and counseling.
Okay.
Immediately after my graduation, I went to Lagos State University to pursue my master's in public administration. So then, since then, I've been in politics. And I've been working.
Okay. So you've taken us through your life in summary, and you've showed us you went to, you schooled at Ogun State University, did guidance and counseling, then went for your master's. Now,
at Lagos State
University. So when all this happened, going to school, and when you came back from Ogun State University, you went straight to LASU, or you worked for a while?
Straight to LASU.
Okay, all right.
No, actually, when I went straight to LASU, I did a part-time program.
Okay.
A part-time program. So, and I was opportune to be working with a private company. Same day we express registration, we involve in registration of businesses and things like that. And the fact that I had the opportunity to live in Abuja when I was in Nigerian Student Loans Board, Abuja.
Okay.
So, then it wasn't so easy like this to do business registration. So when I was in Abuja, I was already doing that as a part-time thing for people that wants to do business registration from Lagos. So they bring it up. So immediately I finished my listing, I just joined the company fully. So we started doing the business together.
Right.
So immediately my brother became a member of the House of Reps. I served as his senior legislative aide, engaged by National Assembly.
All right. So that means you've played politics at different levels, national, state, and even legislative. Have you played at the executive level? Okay, you've done executive secretary.
Apart from being the deputy executive secretary of the local government.
Yes.
Later, I also had the opportunity to serve for a decade as the education secretary of Lagos Island Local Government Education Secretary. That is a subsidiary of Lagos Suburb State Universal Basic Education Board.
Wow. Okay.
So I was in charge of Lagos Island schools, all Lagos Island schools then for a period of 10 years.
Wow, that's a long time. I was going to ask you next that did you go back to work with your education, which was your first love, or you dumped it?
No, there's no way. I didn't dump.
Are you still into education now?
Yes, I am.
What do you do with education right now?
Actually, I involved in a little consultancy. Then actually I'm floating a school. So it's being managed by a friend who is also in education.
All right.
So but that one is secretly known to me.
Okay.
So that one is in Ogun State.
All right.
It's just nearby.
Okay, I see. So I mean, you speak about the education.
I even had the opportunity to serve in King's College school-based committee for a period of about 5 years.
5 years, okay.
Yes, under the leadership of Professor, what's his name? And you still have forgotten his name.
Of course, I'm sure with time, maybe during the course of the interview, if you remember it. But looking at, let's take it from the angle of education. We haven't even talked about your life, your experience, growing up, parents, family. But let's take it from the angle of education, first of all. You worked, interestingly, with the Nigerian Student Loan Board back then. And now we're about to float our own student loan, another student loan board committee very soon. Now, looking at education, what has changed in our education that is making Nigerians want to study more abroad, going to nearby Benin Republic, who back in the 80s and 70s didn't have any hold on education where Nigeria is speaking, going to Cameroon, going to Sudan? What really has changed? Is it a good thing for Nigeria? Is it a bad thing? How did we get to where we are?
Anyway, it depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
So some people, they can conclude that this is a very good thing. But to me, personally, it is my personal opinion.
You're entitled to your opinion.
It is not very good for us. It is not very good for us. In fact, there was a time I was looking at, I was checking something on the internet. I came across a kind of entrance examination listing for maybe from primary 6 to GS1. That is 1975 question. If you see the question for a primary 6 transiting to Form 1, in fact, the SS3 student of today will find it difficult to pass that exam. Wow. Sincerely, there is a sharp drop in our education. Because, for instance, then when we were trying to write JAMB, at least if you don't score up to 220 and above, just forget admission. But today, you can even see the JAMB saying 160, 164. As a person in this line, I believe the standard has not been raised so much to the extent that we now lower the admission mark. I don't know, maybe because of the internet or maybe access to all these CBT, whatever. Also, there was a time I saw something on the internet about the professional qualification of the nurses. That there is no way that you can jettison pencil and paper test for nurses in place of CBT, because these are through pencil and paper. You need to show some diagram, labeling, things like that will really show that you really understand this thing. But in the case of CBT, it's just a question of clicking this, or you just say this and this. Though it is not so good. Though it has its merits and demerits. But generally, the education system in Nigeria is falling. and we can salvage the situation.
How?
So many ways. Let me tell you, when I was the education secretary, the very first year I got there as the education secretary of Lagos Island, after about a few months, some HMs, that is the headmistress of schools, retired. So there was opening, vacant positions to fill the offices of the HMs. I then asked my officers. They told me that you just look through their papers, those that are on level 14 and above, we just
promoted to.
Then I disagreed with them. I told them that I would not do it like that. They said, that's the way we've been doing it. No, that's the way you've been doing it. Does not mean that we cannot improve on it. So I decided that those that are interested, first of all, get me those that are on level 14. Let's say we have 6 vacancies and we are having over 15 or almost 20 people that were on level 14. So all we need to do, let's determine who actually merits this position to become the HM. Thank God that I took that decision. To my surprise, sincerely, I discovered that there are some people who are on level 14 that find it difficult to write a complete sentence.
Level 14?
Level 14 officers. Even there are some who don't even know the parent body of where they are working. You know, as I said, it is local government education authority. And the parent body of local government education authority is the state universal basic education board. Ask them. In some of the questions that I asked the officers to put in place, some of them were unable to answer it. Wow. So only few. So those who actually passed the test were given that position. Some of them started complaining, what sort of things, when did this start? How we've not been doing like this. There's some people, some officers that actually saw the good thing, advantage of it. They said, that's good. That at least with that one, if you know that you are not good enough, you cannot. Because a person who wants to head a school should be able to be on top of this job, should be able to do some things that will inspire the teachers, the teachers will really look up to him, that this is my boss. You know, there are some, during my tenure there, I ensure that they make sure that they go through the due process from the assistant HM to HM, and even the marking system. Though there is a standard from the states. You know, there is a standard from the state, but most of them, you just discover that because of their lackadaisical attitude, they would not just follow the marking guide. They just do it anyhow. But thank God that I was able to put some few things right.
So just by monitoring, you will be able to transform our education system. That's one of the ways.
Yes, for sure. Monitoring and ensuring that those in charge of promotion exercise should ensure and make sure that those that qualify are promoted.
All right.
Not that because so far that it is after 3 years in civil service, you are entitled to another promotion, but ensure that that person qualified to be promoted to the next level.
All right, don't make it automatic.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't.
All right, you've spoken about, your work experience, schooling and transformation, party affiliation and impact that you've made. But in all this, you're a human being. You do relax.
Yes, I do.
How do you relax? Music, movies, parties? What do you do for relaxation?
sincerely, I don't know if it sounds funny, as a Lagos boy,
Yeah.
because I used to tell people, though I'm a Nigerian, but before I see myself as a Nigerian, I first see myself as a Lagosian. Even seeing myself as a Lagosian, I first consider myself as Isaleko boy. Because all my teenage years, from the childhood to, let's say, to about 30, 31,
Was spent.
it was spent on the island. Real Isaleko. When you see real Isaleko boy, I am one.
Okay.
Real Isaleko boy. And, if I should surprise you, going to school, even when I was in secondary school or FSS at Victoria Island, even at Ogun State University, but my mates or my friends, they hardly agree with me that this guy, you are from Isaleko. Because they have this belief that whoever that is from Isaleko must be either smoking or taking the alcohol recklessly or womanizing this and that. Sincerely, all these are not mine.
You never did it in life.
As a matter of fact, I never smoke. I don't take alcohol.
Wow.
And sincerely, I don't womanize. Bet.
I like the boss.
The bet is in terms of having girlfriends. I don't womanize. Even in politics, we have many of them. I hardly date anybody in politics. So, the Yoruba, you must because any. So can jab bossa once a while. But once I have you as a friend, as that you want to go out, I decide to stay with one.
Interesting. Do the Lagos Islanders feel proud of you, or do they feel you're letting them down? Oh, Moti, oh, Obini, oh, Musiga,
no, they don't. Most of them don't feel. They just only need just. This one is butter boy. Actually, I grew up on the highland, but we were brought up in a way that a little bit different. So but when you talk of football, so because when it is 7:38, you must be on your bed.
Wow,
that's the policy of my dad. 7:38, you must be on your bed. But when it is 9:10, especially on weekend, you find me on the field. I live very close to Onola playing field. We play in Onola, going as far as Alakoro, Manina, this, so many things. But mostly my relaxation time is Scrabble.
Scrabble?
Yeah.
Wow, that means you are a champion.
Yeah, I would say local champion. But I really love playing it. I really love playing Scrabble, then playing football, and doing little brisk exercise. I still do that.
You still do that. All right, we'll come to that. Maybe that's where you're looking for it. But in terms of music, what kind of music do you listen to?
Actually, I listen to all brands of music. But when I was growing up, so I actually like Sunny Ade. Sunny Ade was my favorite.
All right.
But later, King Wasiu in the fact that it is official musician of APC. And truly, his brand of music appeals to many of us.
So playing
besides, we all grew up together in the same area. Agarau area, Salegongo, things like that. So, and he's a person that has done us proud. So we really appreciate that.
All right. So since you're talking so highly of Kwamwon, I think it's only good that we take a short break and we'll play you a tune from Kwamwon. Maybe do you have any preference or
Anyone.
All right. And the king is the reigning. I mean, that's still the
it's very nice.
That's
very
it. So
nice.
now, between music and movies, which one do you prefer?
I prefer music.
Music. All right. And between partying, because you know politicians party a lot, you go to a lot of outings.
No, it's part of the Lagos boys schedule. So ọmọ Èkó tí ò bá ṣe fàájì.
So you are that ṣe fàájì báyìí.
No, it's not so. At least in Lagos, we socialize.
So many activities.
We socialize a lot. Mama like that, we go to parties. And more so, let me say, maybe coincidentally, I married from Lagos Island also. So, and we go to parties a lot.
Okay, all right, interesting. So, you, in terms of football, let's start with local. Which is your favorite team?
Stationary stores then.
We hear they're coming back.
Hopefully, if they can come back, we appreciate it. But the love of international football has taken over so many. But actually, matter of fact, for now, I watch football now, but not as much as I used to, because I played football too during my school days. I even captained my school team. But because of let me say, for health reasons, I decided not to lower my interest in football. Because any team that I'm supporting, if we are on the losing part, my BP. So I was advised by my medical doctor that I should. I just don't. It's just like my wife also. My wife, if her BP, she doesn't have this blood pressure problem. But whenever she visits the hospital, once she sees the blood pressure machine, the anxiety, the panic. So, but after some minutes, if the doctor decides, or after the consultation, let's just check it again. It should be normal. So it's just the same thing with me when I'm watching football. The tension, this. So the doctor just advised that if that is what that used to spark up your BP, it is better you.
So that means you're passionate about.
No matter, but I still fall in love with Barcelona.
So which foreign club do you? Barca. All right, I see. So if I were to cover the name on this, which Nigerian club is this?
Sincerely, I told you. I told you that because of the
I decided
to
just
detach myself a bit from football, because whatever that I'm doing, I want to do it passionately.
This is the Remo Stars at Jesse, and they're one of the reigning. Two of my favorite clubs now. Sporting Lagos is one. They just got to the Premiership, and Remo Stars definitely so. Those are the two clubs. I haven't decided who to really throw my weight behind yet. but growing up, you grew up on the island. What was life like growing up on the island?
The life on the island, in fact, very, very interesting, I must say. Very interesting. In fact, maybe our senior brothers or those that we grew up together, or those that we actually looked up to, they were more or less social people. During our youthful days, we formed clubs, a kind of social club that during the time of any festival time, we always have party. Maybe you must have heard of para party. Like we put para, a kind of a very strong mat. There wasn't much on then. We would do it on the road, put para disco party. This and that. So we enjoyed life. Life was very good, and there was the security situation was so okay. We can walk at night.
You didn't have clashes like we do nowadays?
No. There wasn't like something like that. Nothing. We can walk those in Ofin and come to Saleko to play. Those in Saleko will go to Agarawu, Lafiaji, this and that, and the Fancy Carnival. We do all this together. Even when there is a gungun or a your people do, though I detach myself from that maybe for religious reasons.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'm a prince of Lagos.
That is it.
I'm from Onikoyi Shitensi family, the Ojora family of Lagos.
Wow.
Obanikoro and Balogun Okolo of Lagos.
Okay.
So
that's you're really grounded in the
of course
the royals in Lagos.
Yeah, I'm a real Lagos, but as I said, I'm the secretary of Onikoyi royal family.
Okay.
So and I'm a member of board of trustees of Obanikoro royal family, all in Lagos.
Nice.
So and also a strong member of Ojora Shitensi family. Also.
Okay, all right. But looking at the name and the bad image that has been given to Lagos Island, how then did it get this image? Because you spoke about Lagos Island as a place of peace and tranquility where you could move freely. Of course, there were so many activities, but that's not the same identity we have of Lagos Island today.
That's a fact. We cannot shy away from that, but we are hoping that things will get better. It's when we see something like that, it actually saddens us. We that actually grew up in Lagos. But I can tell you, more than 85% of those that are constituting these new census are not really Lagos people. Sincerely. I don't want to mention names
where
of any state or where they're from, but they are not. Even those that are their leaders in the states, most of them are not really Lagos people. They came all the way. The drug issue, in fact, where I live, sincerely, in my house, when I'm standing on the fourth floor, you will see the drug addicts everywhere smoking is. No, but these people are people that came around to rent houses and from there started selling. But the government needs to do a lot. If I have the opportunity, I believe I will, it's just for the president to strengthen the NDLEA. We need to strengthen it. Though Marwa is doing a good job for now, but we need to strengthen it.
They need to do more.
To do more. So the issue of the... Anyway, don't let us talk about
you don't want to go into that now. Anyway, we will, since it's about you today, we'll have a time where we'll get some of this insight from you. But generally, so you grew up in, what kind of parents did you have then that was able to detach you from doing all the three vices that you mentioned? Because you're saying you had to be at home by 7. Tell us a bit about your dad, your mom. What were they into? Civil servants, businessmen.
My mother was more a businesswoman. My father was a seasoned civil servant. Actually, I told you that I actually worked with Nigerian Student Loans Board immediately after my A levels. My father actually retired as an accountant of Nigerian Student Loans Board. Okay. So when he retired over 3 years before I joined Loans Board, and because of the trust and confidence in my dad, that made my bosses there to place me in account session. We are in charge of loan recovery. Okay. Then when you look at the list of those who collected Nigerian money, used Nigerian money to fund their educations locally and abroad, and refuse to pay back loans, you'll be surprised when I start mentioning names.
Some of them, you still know them till now?
Actually, we know. I still know. I know them.
Some of them.
But most of them are no more. But most of them, then when I was in that service of Nigerians, these are the people that called the shots of the nations.
Wow.
But when the board decided to threaten them, then that we are going to publish the names, some of them started paying back the loan. The loan they collected over 2015 years.
Before then, they never paid back.
Yeah, they started paying back. So it's just to tell you that because my dad was a very gentle person, a committed Nigerian, and very transparent and very disciplined. So in view of that, I've been, you can imagine the civil servant of the old days.
Yeah.
You can see because of that. In fact, my dad set the time for me that between 7:38 you must be in. Once it gets to 8:30 before you are on your bed, be assured that you will get nothing less than 6 strokes.
The typical 6 strokes. That's what they give them, 4 to 6 strokes.
There's no way you can escape.
Wow.
So, and the fact that you don't want to be beaten, you have to get home early. So, and there's no way you can just say you are going out. You must tell him. Even it got to the time that he even gave us the roster. Like, okay, I'm going to my friend's house. Which of your friends? So you must feel it. So what time are you leaving home? What time are you coming?
I can imagine what you would have done if it was in this social media era.
No, I sincerely, thank God for our life.
So how many siblings do you have?
Actually, I have 5.
5. All right.
5.
All right. And how many of them are in politics?
Just 2 of us.
Just 2?
Me and my brother. And even that my brother, somewhere, is like he has retired from politics or partially retired.
Okay.
He has faced his law. He's into property business in Abuja.
All right. Now, as we wrap up, when you look at Nigeria of then, I'm sure you had a lot of hope in Nigeria, what Nigeria will become. What you expected or what your expectations were of Nigeria in the 80s when you finished school and started working, and particularly, let's say, when you got into politics.
Yeah.
Is this where you expected Nigeria would be?
No, at all. There's no Nigerian Nigeria should be in this form. But we are hoping, with the new president in place, we are hoping that Nigeria will regain our lost glory. So we are going to a higher place. It is a renewed hope period, and things will get better.
Do you want Nigerians to keep hope alive?
Sure.
And Nigerians
have trust in him, in the president. We trust him. So that is why we gave him our mandate, and he's going to do it. So just be patient as we always plead with you. Nigeria will get better.
And what guarantee can you give Nigerians that, because Nigerians have heard a lot of promises from previous governments within the APC and outside the APC, and even in the States, and Nigerians are saying that we hear lofty ideas, see great policies, but the implementation is always a problem.
And it's true. Sincerely, implementation is always a problem, but it depends on the leadership. Sincerely, it depends on the leadership. But for the person on the saddle right now, I'm very sure that we will get it right. We will get it right. He has done it before. He did it when he was in private sector. When he was the governor of Lagos State, we are all living witness to what he did in Lagos, how he moved our IGR from so million to billions, things, and so many developments. And we can even see the succession plan in Lagos, how Lagos has been moving. And we believe so much with him there. And you can see few of the ministerial nominees are people that actually work with him And these are people that he believes in. He believes in them, he trusts them, and they will do it better. So, no, he's the president, he's the commander-in-chief. All he needs to do is just to call the shots and put the right people in the right places, and Nigeria will get better. We are hopeful.
All right. And on that note, especially since you've had experience in the student loan, how can we make sure that we do not just incur debts with this new student loan that we're getting into?
In fact, I don't believe that we can incur debts.
But we did back then.
And yes, but I told you that when it depends on the policy of the government.
Okay.
If the government is serious about it, that we really want to ensure that whatever that is being given now will be recovered, we can do it. I told you, then in that 80s, when we decided that we wanted to recover some of the loans that were given out in the early 60s, early 70s, late 80s, when we started publishing names, we put Abatorial and we will be publishing names of those who also. Yeah. Before we started, some people started paying back because they don't want their names published. Yeah. So after we even publish, we have many professors, doctors, unfortunately, great politicians that came back to pay certain amount of money. A lot of money were recovered then. So we can do the same thing. All right. But, I believe that for any opportunity given to person, you just have to ensure that you pay back for others to benefit. It's happening abroad. It's happening all over places. We have children that are enjoying it. So, we should replicate same that is happening there. So it will be better for us. So I believe Jagaban will do it right.
All right. On that note, let's bring political artistry today to a halt. If you were in your home, we'll have asked you to cook for us your favorite meal and all that. But since you're in the office,
sincerely, I don't have the favorite.
You don't?
I don't. I eat all kind of food.
Wow. That means you are someone that can travel to any part of the world. You wouldn't. Yeah. You can eat and be okay.
I don't have problem with food.
Your food.
I'm a good cook anyway.
Maybe we'll do another edition in your home. Having you cook for us, host us. I guess this is a good place to anchor for today. It's been an exciting time with Honorable Moshood Marigun, the Deputy State Secretary of the All Progressive Congress in Lagos State. We've spoken about life. His journey through politics, education, and his concerns about Nigeria. This is one of the politicians we're bringing to you today so that you get to understand who they are, how they think, and get to know them better. Know them at least as much as you know Joe Biden of the United States of America. This is your country. My name is Olu Akaide. The program is Political Artistry. Let the conversation continue right here on Lagos Talks 91.3 FM.